Welcome to the Mischief. I'm Vallen, and this is The Long Journey Home. It's kind of a space adventure game, similar in functionality to FTL, Faster Than Light, for those that are not familiar with it. But you get to pick things a bit more specifically, and everything's a little bit more fleshed out. You get a little bit more action in there than what you might expect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put together a crew here. Let's see, we've got an archaeologist, a test pilot, engineer, botanist. Oh yeah, we got to have Matt Damon on here for those that haven't seen The Martian. So he's coming in. Benoit Verdier, theoretical physicist. Okay, interesting. We've got an astronaut. Yes, we're having an astronaut. If only because I went to space camp, and that's just something you got to have when you're going into space, is an astronaut. So we've got a researcher, a planner, corporate executive. Yes, we are bringing aboard Bishop from the Alien franchise. That sounds great. And then a civilian observer. Oh, yes. A female YouTuber. That sounds awesome. We are definitely bringing her aboard because this is a motley crew if ever I assembled one. So I did play through this a little bit. You can actually stylize your ship colors and stuff. I played through with, what was it? Not the Discovery, but the Ulysses. Or was it the Endurance? No, it was the Ulysses. But yeah, and it was good. I mean, it was kind of average all around. You've got your Endurance, which has a heavy hull strength and a fuel tank, but then you've got your Discovery, which doesn't have much of either, but it can move very far and maneuver quite well. In fact, we're just going to stick with the Ulysses, and because I do like the cargo space options it has. I don't know that Endurance, though. Oh my goodness gracious, look at all that cargo space, all the things we could carry. Each horizontal line represents a different type of item that can be carried. The vertical lines don't mean anything. It just you can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different items stored in your cargo, and up to 5 of each type. So this one here can only store 3. This one here could store 4. So we're going to go with the Ulysses, I think, and see how that pans out. Next, we have to pick a lander. Now, this is actually really, really important. Much more important than the ship in some ways, because the lander is what will obtain most of your resources. Now, there's the Serenity, which is fairly average on most things. Once again, your cargo space, 3 different items and up to 3 of each type. Then you've got your Pathfinder, 3 different items, 2 of each type. It's not a very strong hull either, and got a great fuel tank, so it can go just about everywhere, but I don't know about that hull strength. That's just a little low for me. And then you've got the Odyssey, which I did try this one out, and it was great having this massive hull strength. And the fuel tank I was able to deal with, but the cargo space, just 2 different items. I just couldn't handle it. It was too much. So I'm going to go with this one here. Looks like kind of an Apollo launcher or something, but let's see what kind of seat. Moya Mova? I don't know. Can we enter a code to generate the galaxy? Share it with friends. Can I actually do? There we go. Mischief. That sounds excellent. All right, now we're going to click start, and we're going to skip the beginning here. It basically says you need to go to Mars and pick up a few items. These are the different items that your crew members start with. Each one may have their own special abilities and things that they can do better than others, depending on the mission or around the ship to repair or fix or fit things. But we're going to go with starting after the jump. So let's get into this. The idea here is we're supposed to test this prototype system, and, things go a bit off. And instead of us just going a short distance, we are warped, much farther. As you can see here is Earth. And we start way the other side of the universe, not just galaxy, universe. So it's pretty darn big. So here we are, just kind of floating around here. There's like this little area that we could float into and check it out. There's lots of different objects on our map here. In fact, I think we can thrust a little bit, which is like a slower version of and a boost, which will like really waste a lot of fuel, but also get you in there quickly. There's kind of a gravity field. You can see the different grids here showing you the gravity fields in the area. And in fact, I see something is up here. So let's kind of thrust a little bit. Maybe I can get into an orbit around this thing. Now, once I line it up properly, that looks kind of terminal to me. I might be going a little fast. So let's bring it down. I hold space, and then if I can maintain it long enough, it'll automatically orbit, which is great. Now, this will tell you everything you need to know about getting to these planets that you may need to scavenge resources from. Right now, just about everything is good. Your hull is good, your fuel is good, your warp jump capability is set, your people are all doing fine, I hope, but I didn't actually check. I probably should. So let's see here. We've got our comm here, which isn't actually being used just yet. And then you've got your database, which tells you everything about your different missions you have going on. Bridge will give you your overall breakdown in exact stats, what all is going on. Your lander, of course, does the same thing just for the lander. Abandoned lander, that means that if your lander gets destroyed in some way, that your pilot might still survive. But let's check out our resources. We currently have a bunch of hydrogen and copper, which is great, actually. That's fantastic, because right now in our fuel converter tab here, I can actually choose something, and if it works for it, you see it's in color up above, fuel converter. If it doesn't, it goes black and white or gray. So therefore, I cannot convert copper to fuel, but I can convert hydrogen into fuel. Now I'm going to wait for that to be a little bit less before I actually convert it, because I found out that, yeah, it's just a good idea to use the fuel only if you need to. Now going over here, EM refinery. That's kind of like your ability to warp from one galaxy to the next, or star system to the next, rather. So therefore, you're going to want to have these as often as you can. But right now, I've got 3 full jumps, so I can get from one star system to the next 3 times before running out and kind of being in a lot of trouble. So let's move on here. Ship repair bench. This here, you notice that there's a little bit of a red here. I could actually use some of my copper to repair the ship, or I could use it to repair the landers, which, of course, the hydrogen will not work for that. And you'll figure this stuff out as you go, but basically the metals are used to repair the hull of the ship and the lander, and your blue or gases are typically used to restore your fuel converter, or your ship fuel, as well as your lander fuel at the same time, because it will refuel every time it hits into the ship. And then your green stuff will replenish your EM refinery, so you can use it for that. So that's what the different colors are. The kind of silvery white is for the hull, the green is for your space jumps from one system to the next, and the blue is, of course, for your fuel, which is much more important than one might think. Now your quarters. You can go in here and you can actually see how people are doing. Different injuries. Looks like Kirsten, the lander pilot, currently has a concussion. That's no good. Let's assign Simon to the lander, because you know what? I like having androids as a lander pilot. He's not really an android, but I'm going with that idea because I equate him with Yutani Industries. So let's go to lab here, and you can see the different items that we have. We have a keystone, which is something that was picked up on the space scene that we skipped through. We don't know what this is, and perhaps we can find out once we get this back home to Earth. Of course, we've got a medical kit, which will heal most items on your crew. As you can see, all the different things that it may heal at the bottom here. I could heal up this person, but I really don't want to waste it right now, because if I think I want to wait till they get at least 3 issues before I try healing their ailments. And only if it is listed, the little icon down here, will it actually attempt to heal that item. Now, of course, there are some things like Zoe here, her laptop, I'm going to call her Zoe because that's the name of my puppy as well. But hey, it doesn't. Nothing here is yellow, so they can't really use it at this time. You've got your salvage kit, which it came with somebody. You've got your hull repair. You also have this the plant from Matt Damon over here. But hey, if I wanted to, let's see, medical kit. See here how this person is actually in orange, the others are in kind of a silver. This person could feasibly use this and benefit from it. So that's kind of how that works out. Now let's get out of this menu and actually get into some of the action of landing on the planet and exploring. So I'm going to choose to land. Goes to a cool little cutscene involving the actual planet that you're above as well. So it may change the cutscene image as you switch over. Now you're going to want to make sure that you're boosting while while you're dropping down, it's very difficult because I already overshot. If you look at the little mini map on the bottom left there, you'll see that there is like 2 different points of interest. There's a little white arrow, and there is a red icon as well. I'm gonna try. I'm overshooting things so much. The gravity says average, but I'm surprised I'm actually holding up quite well on this. The last one, the gravity was terrible, and the weather wasn't exactly that good either. But if I can get this to be just right, there may also be weather conditions. There we go, close enough. I now, if I press space, I will start drilling for copper. And I don't want it to get too far red because then I'll start taking a lot of damage. There we go. See, I could be taking damage on my the hull of the ship. No need to do that at this point. I could continue further, but I'm not hurting for it, so why bother? At this point, I'm just going to use this to get a little bit of a jump. Oh, that was kind of close. Heading over to the red area here to inspect this. Uh-oh, that's close. I kinda almost hurt myself a lot there. That still hurt a little bit. That's not too bad. Can I make it? Oh, see, this is a really nice planet, actually. The gravity is average, temperature is a bit low, but, I mean, there's no convection, which means, like, the weather, more or less. Okay, so in this case, we've got the option to visit this area, which can be good, can be bad, can be kind of in between, depending on how you make of it. And here Simon here says, incredible, this planet has erupted into flowers and formations of pure crystal. It's as if millions of reflections and rainbows are trapped inside, just waiting to be let out. Now I could just leave, or I could explore. Let's explore. I've found an ancient container, an ossuary, I think. Rotting wood, inside a few small bones and one large polished one, all wrapped in red velvet. Ooh, part of an ancient warlord. Let's take that. I'll leave the box behind, doesn't look like it's worth anything. I wonder how many pieces of this guy there are. The wrist bone of Ptah. Perhaps we can assemble Ptah and resurrect him. I don't know. I mean, that for all I know, that might be an option. But in this case, this planet has been salvaged for everything that I can get off of it. My fuel is down by about a third. Once I crossed that line at the top there, I was able to leave the atmosphere. So that was pretty basic. That was probably best case scenario right there. I didn't take very much, if any, hull damage. I didn't find any fuel, but I've got fuel reserves at the moment. So if I hit tab, we can go to resources and see the things that we picked up. We picked up a bunch more copper. So let's go to the ship repair bench. I can repair the ship or the lander. The lander actually didn't even take any damage from that. I'm rather surprised. So let's use this extra one and repair that one. The only reason I'm doing that specifically is because I like to keep these open. You can only have one type in here unless it's actually mixable, and you can't always mix it in that case. So that's all there is for that one. So let's leave this area and head out to a new location. All right, so already I'm kind of like shooting back into the planet. So I want to, now if you're worried about fuel, like right here you see a little red area. I'm currently going into a gravity well. That's no good. We want to head kind of in a direction of another planet. You can see our little arrow is headed that way. And if possible, I want to try and slow the ship down so I'm not going to... Oh, that's still a bit too much. It's red. Oh gosh. Okay, that was a bit much there. Let's see if I can actually turn this around. There we go. That's much better. Now if I can smooth this out with a little bit of thrust instead of a boost. There we go. Now I just hit space when I get close by, and I should be able to orbit this. And it'll tell me, mission forecast, relatively harmless. That's good. It's rock surface, which is good. Gravity, average. Temperate, moderate convection. Okay. Atmosphere, moderate. Hazards, which actually I was wrong. Convection is like probably the landscape, not the weather. My bad. Hazards, none. Life forms, none. Structures, none. And it's got phosphates, which of course is going to help us get more stuff for warping from star system to star system. Metals, which is going to help us repair our stuff. And hydrogen, fuel. That's something that we definitely need, and I'm very terrible at obtaining. So let's see what we can do, and let's land on this planet. Perhaps we can get something a little bit better. Oh boy. All right. Well, the planet looks a bit yellowish to me, but that doesn't mean bad things per se. So let's slowly float down. I need to kind of aim Aim it a little bit, try and land, get a little bit of phosphates. Wouldn't be bad. If that's what these are. A little bit more. There we go, perfect. Now, let's drill down. Oh, it's already in the red. That's not good. And it uses up fuel in the process. You know, it's not worth it at this point. I'm just going to damage the lander. We're going to continue on. We're going to head over here to the blue, which is the fuel, and what I really, really am going to need for this. And it's not exactly the easiest thing to obtain. I mean, perhaps you guys watching may find that this is easy, but I fishtail things quite a bit. Now, the gravity is actually relatively working in my favor. Oh, looks like some of the weather is starting to pick up a little bit. Oh, now you can see I'm starting to kinda, I just want to get in here to pick up as much of this as I can. Okay, there we go. I got 3 bits of fuel. That was fantastic. Now I can't just process the fuel on the go. I have to use what I've got. So let's try slowing down to this one. Okay, there's a little bit of wind still. Okay, there we go. Cool. All right, let's check this out. Oh, it's already in the red as well. Maybe I can get one. There we go, 1 aluminum. That should be good. That's just a little bit of hull repair. I don't really need it that badly, so it's not worth the risk to the hull. I did take a tiny bit of damage. But hey, this is just one of the samples of things that you can do. This is not everything. I mean, sure, just going around exploring each of the planets is cool in itself. But hey, I will show you more as we go. Let's do resources here. Now I'm going to use some of the fuel because our fuel reserves are a bit low. So there we go, and I'm going to use a little bit more. And I'm not going to overuse what we've got. I'm just going to use what we have. Now, ship repair doesn't need to be done. Lander could use a little bit of aluminium, excuse me. I've got a lot of copper, so I might as well just use that up so that I can free up this space. Now, the good thing is that if I have more stuff than I can fit on the ship itself, the lander will still store it as well. So kind of got that going for us. Now let's leave this area and head over to another item of interest. It's often best if you can like use the gravity to kind of get to where you're trying to go to instead of trying to always boost your way there. Now anything that's glowing like that, you can just fly straight into. Like we did at the beginning there was kind of a ring around a planet. Here we go. Now you see these little white arrows at the bottom of the screen? This means that there are some special items nearby. We can harvest these. And of course there are weapons on this ship as well. Allow me to demonstrate. If I hold Q long enough, the shields come up and then the weapons start charging. And we broadside things by firing. Good thing that you actually do slow down in these fields because there is kind of a little bit of a gravity well. I'm not the best pilot. I'm just giving that warning right now. Perhaps we can get to this area. It's a bit iffy, but if I hit space, I will fire. And then everything will have to charge again. Or I could just do a few shots. You can see all these little dots over here represent how many shots I have. So I could shoot just a little bit, shoot again, etc. And yes, there may be violent life forms out here for us to battle. Oh, that was close. Oh gosh. Okay, so actually this is good because this little thing here is what we're coming for. It's got goodies in it. Now we just need to go over here and harvest them after we destroyed that asteroid. We got carbonates, which I think are blue, which means fuel. That's fantastic. On my last venture through, when I played a little bit of this, I actually ran out of fuel. It was kind of bad. I couldn't find a single planet that had any fuel on it, which was really sad, and I was very wasteful with the fuel reserves that I had. Not to say that, you know, I was... it was the... Oh, gosh! Oh! I was completely to blame or anything, because as you can see, not the best at what I'm doing. Oh, I don't know how to get in there. I'm going to have to go around. All right, I'll come back to you guys once I get in there. All right, here we go, and lining up the shot. All right, that asteroid is destroyed, and now I can go in and harvest the goodies in the center. Oh, just kind of might have done a little bit of damage there. And yes, I do have shields up, but that's not going to protect me from running into things. It just protects me from incoming attacks from enemies. Now here's the tricky part. It's not actually just getting through the field, it's getting out of it, because at this point I could go to warp speed, but you have to go a certain distance. And if there's a meteor in the way, you may run into it. So therefore you want to make sure you get to the edge of the asteroid field or just risk it all for running into things. And you could do some serious damage to your ship that way. But I think that this area is actually done. So we are going to move on to the next star system. All right, and here we are at UV Ceti, which was pretty good. I mean, there was some interesting things in there. It actually shows you there was like an asteroid field, a couple planets, and some kind of strange outpost that we stopped at that was actually of no interest at all. Now, with our distance of this ship, we could visit 2 other areas. This one here, which might have some more metals. This one here, which might have minerals, metals, and gas. Wow. You can actually look a little further afield if you want to see what else is out here. This one just has a single planet and 2 stars. This one here has a couple stars and an asteroid belt. That one's not bad either. Yeah, pretty good stuff. And oh, see this here? You've got a little purple dash with like a ring around it. That is kind of a spaceport. So something that we're definitely going to want to work towards. So let's go to Barnard's star. When warping in, you often come in really close to the star in the center of the system. So let's actually... I've got somebody on my tail. On the minimap, I've got someone in green heading our way. I could feasibly try to escape them, but I find it's often best just to talk to them rather than waste the fuel to try and escape the conversation. Oh, it's an interesting ship. An alien species, for sure. Let's see what they have to say. Too many things to do. Too many. Ah, yes. You, with the interesting flesh. We have a proposition for you. Our favored consort demands a new slave. We will pay you to spare us the inconvenience. A simple matter, yes? Wait. Demands a new slave. Wait. Fat but content. As long as the food keeps flowing. What? What? Oh my gosh. So he wants to take us as a slave if we'll be witness to it? I'd rather decline being slaves. Be that way then. Call ended. Okay. All right. Well, thanks. Luckily they didn't attack, I guess. Interesting. So let's just get out of here. We're just going to warp away. Not all experiences with alien species are that manner. Dark Mistress Zetaria or something like that. Strange. Very strange. We're going to try and get to this ice planet, see if I can actually slow things down a bit. Yes, I see you there. Go away. Go away. You're making me mess up my flight path. Okay, there we go. Space. I don't want to initiate an encounter. All right, what do we have? Low risk. Strong convection. Yeah. Thin atmosphere, no hazards. Biotope life forms? Interesting. And no structures, ice, and average gravity. We can get some carbonates and some iron. You know what? Why not? Because I think we should be all right here. This sounds interesting. It said that there was some life forms. I don't know if those are going to be something that we will have to avoid or if we can visit them. Oh, I see already. There's a red spot on the minimap. Uh-oh, we're coming in pretty hard here. Come on, there we go. See if we can actually go visit them, perhaps. The red lump on there is going to be them. So let's try... oh gosh, that was great. Great job, Vallen. See if we can do that. All right, now we just need to straighten this thing out. You can see how it can be a bit iffy. There we go. Now I'm gonna hit visit. I'm surrounded by what look like pieces of coral, the size of skyscrapers. The wind dances through them, filling the air with an unearthly but beautiful music. Let's explore. I've discovered an interesting looking plant. Scanner gives it the scientific name Metalea dracunculus, bringing up a sample. Let's take the sample. Got it, heading back to the lander. All right, cool. So let's see. We could get some green or we can get some hull repair. Let's go for the green stuff because I don't think we have anything to replace our star power just yet. Star power, our ability to shoot to other star systems. I can't actually see what I'm doing. There we go. All right, let's hope that we don't... Oh, this is good. It's starting at the top, which means we might get more stuff too. Can I get a third one before it gets to red? Yes. Oh, and I still took a little bit of hull damage. Not too bad. And actually, things are going really well, so I'm going to try visiting this third spot here. See if I can actually land it. Oh. Hey, that... Ooh. No. That's not good. There's a little bit of wind. It started helping me to slide a bit there. Can I? No, I can't. There we go. Now I can. Space to drill. I might be able to get a little bit out of this. I just want to keep it in the yellow. As soon as it goes in the red, I'm out of here. Nope. All right, we're done. Thank you. That was a great trip. We can check out what that thing is that we got. All right, let's go to our resources here, and you can see all the goodies that we have. Oh my gosh, we have so many goodies. This is ridiculous. We've got common. They're all common goodies, but wow. Okay, let's repair the ship. Repair the lander. What do we have for EM refinery? Let's use the silicates because we've got 3. There we go, and one of these. Oh, and look at that. We now have an extra ability to move along. Now our fuel is a little bit low, so I'm going to start using a bit more of that. Just enough that it's just almost topped off, but not quite. The lander looks all right. Resources look okay. Now let's go into the lab and see what we have. Matalea Draconculus. Now, if you look here, he says, I cannot get distracted by that. He's not interested. He's got a gray bar. The others are orange or yellow, so they might be able to do it. Now, I have a botanist. I could have her eat it or her do a long-range scan. There's enough biomatter here for the ship's sensors to track. Oh, wow. Or I could have him extract a sample of it. He's thinking he can make medicine out of this. He's a botanist. It's a plant. I'm going to go for that. So let's do that. Item acquired gel. Curative nanites suspended in goo. Holy crap. So we've got something that's going to help cure things. Ooh. Oh, hey, check that out. That's rare. I mean, it only fixes a few things. Yeah, let's just use that on her right now. Cool, she feels much better. Concussion is healed. Excellent. All right. Well, that was great. This here I don't think... Oh, wait, there's several elements I don't recognize. I'll try tracking them on the long-range scanner. You know what? You go ahead, Zoe. Use database and map updated. Oh. One would think that I might be able to... let's go on over here to this other area. Just keep jumping to get my way home. Just keep in mind I can only jump a maximum of 3, and then I'm out of fuel. So I've got to kind of constantly salvage things as we go. Oh, we're right at a large star system. Let's boost. Oh, there's a lot of gravity here. Perhaps I can get over to this asteroid belt. Or this asteroid. There's somebody over there that is sending out a signal. I'm not interested at this point. Thank you. Here we go. And let's see what we've got today. Borites or borates. Not even sure what the heck those are, but we've got them now. And there's the other goodies here. Looks like we got a little bit of iron. There's one more bit. There it is, this little orange dot. Come on. And another iron. All right, now to try and find a safe way out of here. There we go. Oh! Looks like we ran into another one of those slaver ships. They seem like they're much larger than me, or perhaps it's just the perspective. Hi. Listen, Scow, this is our territory. What'll it take to let you fly free? A bribe? Or shall we just take a look in your cargo? No, we don't have any money to give, so I guess we have to decline. Let's see what you've got. Oh yes, this will do nicely. No, you're not taking Zoe's laptop. What's that? We'll have to collect it from what's left of your ship after we take you out. Happy to oblige. Oh, great! Not that I was expecting this or not, but All right, shields. Let's get out of here. All right, we'll just keep on moving. I am not doing so good. Can I boost and thrust? And can I... Come on, get out of here. Let's go. Go, 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 go. We need to run away before we get blown up. Come on, warp. Oh god. Okay, this is not going so well. All this over a laptop. It just doesn't make any sense. Why are you trying to destroy me? How many ships of yours do I have to destroy before you leave me alone? Can I get out of here? Oh gosh, you see how long it's taking to charge up? Yeah, the ship's gone. The ship's gone. Well, at least they didn't get Zoe's laptop. And there you go, folks. That's just a brief glimpse into this. The long journey home. On the good side, if you choose story mode, as I did in this case, you can choose to rewind. And perhaps fight another day. So, I hope you guys have enjoyed this. If so, please be sure to give a like, comment, subscribe, and as always, don't be afraid to spread the mischief to others if you think they'll enjoy this content as well. And until next time, folks, I'll see ya. Not this time. Bye.